Well, hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. My name's Tiffany, and I typically make grad school vlogs, as well as talking about a lot of other things that I am passionate about, and I try to put some educational videos out about those things as well. But today I wanted to put out a video because I was really inspired by a recent monthly wrap-up video I saw that used the report format. And I thought that I would make one of my own. So report, the R is reading, the E is eating, the P is playing, the O is obsessing, the second R is recommendations, and the T is treating. And so I wanted to go through that. And for the reading, I'm actually going to give a quick, it is going to be quick, summary of all the books that I've read this year. Now it's only 17 because I'm not like a super avid reader. So I thought I'd do like a 2023 reading wrap up. Even though I don't read a significant number of books, I find that I am happiest when I'm always working through a book. So even if it takes me a while to read it, I find that it's really worthwhile. So for my reading, let's see here. I'm going to use Storygraph. I read 17 books with a pretty even moods. Lots of informative books, lots of emotional books, and some mysterious ones, intense. The pace was mostly medium. 300 to 500 pages was the biggest, and then 63% fiction and lots of psychology. That's represented by my school books that I did include in there because I'm going to give myself credit for everything I read. And lots of print. That might not be accurate because sometimes I don't always change the format here. So anyways, let's get in to the good stuff, the actual book summaries. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom. All right, so I started the year with the Riviera House, one of my favorite books of the year, 4.5 stars. I still think about this book all the time, so if I were to go back, I might give it 5 stars. It was fantastic. It's a lot like Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale, if you've ever read that. Moving on to Bridge to Terabithia. Didn't like it as much as I had hoped. It was much different than I expected. I know it's a kid's classic, but it was just okay for me. Finley Donovan is killing it, 4.5 stars. It was funny. It was fun. No complaints. Clinical Assessment of Child and Adolescent Personality and Behavior. I'm not going to review the textbooks. Same thing, Counseling the Culturally Diverse, Theory and Practice, Principles and Applications of Assessment and Counseling. You can see I had a big grad school reading only span. Development Through the Lifespan. This book, I will say, I specifically gave it 1 star because it was extremely fat phobic, and I let my professor know my feelings on that, and she responded with such kindness and empathy about my thoughts on the book, and I really, really appreciated that, and I appreciated the safety I had in giving her my thoughts on this book while we were going through the course. Oh, this one's controversial, you guys. Daisy Jones and the Six. I gave it 1 star. I did not like it. I know that's super unpopular, but I just felt like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, who cares? I felt no connection to the character. Liked Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo much better. Did not like this one. Substance Abuse Treatment and the Stages of Change. Foundation of Addiction Counseling, Addiction and Human Development. Zenobia in July is a middle grade novel about a trans girl, 5 stars. Huge. If you ever want to know what people who have gender dysphoria go through and the issues that arise and just anything about being a trans adolescent. I think this fictional book is a beautiful way to go about learning about that. Finley Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead was a continuation of that series, 4.5 stars. Loved it. Starfish, 3.5. I had high hopes for this one, but it did not end up being quite what I had hoped for. Wish You Were Here by Jodi Picoult, 3.5. It was a solid book. I enjoyed reading it. It moved really fast. There was a big twist in it that I liked. Solid. Rebecca, 2 stars. Didn't like this as much as I had hoped. It was not what I expected at all. Flicker in the Dark, 4.75 stars. I just recently finished this one, and my goodness, it left me speechless. It really did. It was a fantastic thriller. So if you like that, I highly recommend that book. And right now I'm reading a book called Raising Ryland, which is the story of parents raising a very young transgender child. So I haven't finished it yet, but that is what I am currently reading. Or eating. Now, you all know, if you watched my meal planning vlog that I did around midterms, that I've been using the cookbook Cook Once, Eat All Week, where you batch cook a central protein, veggie, and starch. And you have a prep day. You usually make some sauces, and you use those components to create 3 pretty different meals throughout the week. I have completed, I believe, 14 or 15 straight weeks of this cookbook. There's 26 weeks. I am absolutely in love with this, and so I have been eating out of that cookbook ever since Labor Day. It has really changed my life, and you'll see as I go through this list that a lot of the items in the list are kind of related to each other, because I am definitely also obsessed with this cookbook. For playing, I really think YouTube is how I play right now. It's really the creative thing that I have going on. But right now, my, kind of hobby where I get to use my creativity. So YouTube is my play for right now. Oh, so obsession. Oh my gosh, this is kind of funny, kind of embarrassing. I have spent, I don't know how long on YouTube watching reviews and comparisons and buying guides and everything for enameled cast iron Dutch ovens. And specifically looking at the differences of some of the high-end brands, the 2 of which are STAUB and Le Creuset. One of them has white interiors and the other has black, and learning all about the differences. And I have become absolutely obsessed with this, which is ridiculous because I don't even use the enamel cast iron Dutch oven that we do have. I use it, but it's not like the most used thing in my kitchen by any means. And yet I found myself really wanting another enameled cast iron Dutch oven. I wanted a slightly bigger one, and I went window shopping just to see these. Again, I have no need for especially a high-end Dutch oven. Like, again, I don't use these things that often to justify a $300 piece of cooking equipment. Like, it's just not necessary. However, I was obsessed for many weeks on watching these videos. And, oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta go get something. All right, I'm gonna bring you along on the unboxing of my 5.5 quart STAUB or STAUB, I'm not sure which it is, Dutch oven. Ooh, here's the lid. One of the famous features on STAUB is that they have these rain drops that allow the condensation to rain back into the food. Oh wow. They told me, the people I bought this from, I got this on Facebook Marketplace, they told me they still had the ribbon. How fun is that? So it really is like getting it brand new. I don't know how well you can see, but it's super metallic. It's like a really pretty metallic blue. So fun. And then the insert here. And then, oof, these things are heavy. There's the bottom. And just like that. Yay, I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm gonna make in it first. We'll have to see. I got this for about a quarter to less than half for sure. Probably about a third of the price of this new. As you can see, it came in the box. I think it is used, but barely. I know that the nice thing about these pots is that they pretty much last forever. So I'm very excited. I thought there was a small imperfection on the enamel there. It wasn't. It was just a little thing I was able to wipe away. Oh, so exciting. It was at a price that was really similar to some of the off-brand Dutch ovens that are a tiny fraction of the price. So in a perfect world, you know, I would have maybe gotten a 7 quart just because I think it's a 4 quart, the one that I already had. And this is a 5.5 quart, but it's still plenty big. Even the 4 quart is usually big enough for our family of 6. I just felt like if I was going to have two, having a 4 quart and a 7 quart would be the right range. But I think the 5.5 quart will still be really useful. I decided on STAUB because of the black interior. I wanted to try that. The whole thing with this is some people say black interior makes it harder to see when food is browning because it's black and the browning is brown, so there's less contrast. But some people say that doesn't really matter, and so I wanted to see what I thought, because the one that I do have is one that I got for free in like a Facebook Buy Nothing group. It's very badly stained, which doesn't bother me hugely. Like, it doesn't affect the function, it's fine. But I did kind of like the idea of having something that didn't show the stains as well, and so that's why I ultimately decided on the STAUB, and we'll see how I feel. I'm planning on cooking coq au vin in it for Christmas. Also a dish I've never made before. So I've just been having a lot of fun, obsession, could say, with cooking in general lately, which is so new for me because I'm generally not a cooking person. So an unnecessary enameled cast iron Dutch oven and all of the accompanying research and everything that went into it is definitely my obsession right now. That brings us to the second R in the report, which is recommendations, and it's another food related thing. So I've kind of upped my level of love for this Cook Once, Eat All Week cookbook by pairing it with the app called Plan to Eat. It's a lot like other meal planning apps out there that I've heard about. I've never tried any of the other ones, but it is just so feature packed, and I am, again, also really obsessed with using this app. So I just want to enthusiastically recommend it for anybody who has thought about using a meal app but wasn't sure. The final T, how am I treating myself right now? What am I treating myself with? Well, I am in a new stage of parenting that is so awesome because my oldest just turned 12 yesterday and can actually babysit now and can actually stay home alone with the other 3 kids for short periods of time. And it has been such a game changer for my husband and I. So we treat ourselves by going out for random spur of the moment date nights because we don't have to find a sitter, and that is like mind blown. We keep it close. We're usually only within 5 minutes away. My daughter has an iPod. She doesn't have a phone yet, but she does have an iPod that you can text with when connected to Wi-Fi. And so she can text us and we can get back to the house in a few minutes if needed. Plus we have great neighbors that she can always go to. And so just being able to like go out and have a meal with my husband and have like an uninterrupted conversation, spur of the moment like that, and just to decide that without having to plan. I feel like you're planning for, you know, a wedding just just to get out of the house has been such a wonderful treat and such a game changer. So I hope you liked this format. I really enjoyed making this video and talking about some of the exciting stuff going on. And thanks for being here, and hope to see you next time.